Shalom, bruchim habaim. Welcome to this video. Today we're going to talk about the famous 501 Hebrew verbs. I say that all the time that you need it at home if you are serious about studying Hebrew verbs. Now we have two issues right now. One is that many students think, oh, I don't need that. I look it up online and yeah, we come to that. I mean, you know my position on it, but I will prove to you why you actually really need it in print at home. And then we come to the second issue, which is that the book is currently sold out everywhere. So your only option is to get it secondhand, which is not a problem, but I want to show you what are the differences between the different editions. So when you see one for a decent price, that's currently another story, that you know which one is right for you. Okay, let's start. Here we have both options. You might have already seen both. I actually have both at home. Now, currently, if you're living in the United States, you actually are lucky because most of the secondhand books that I actually found to be available for shipping are being shipped from the United States. Let me tell you what the differences are, and maybe you want to watch out for that, or you decide it's not important for you. Okay? So, first of all, 501 verbs is not really exact. It should be, in my opinion, 501 Hebrew roots. This book is not about 501 verbs. It's much more. So some students had that question saying, that's it? Aren't there more verbs than five? Yes, of course. Of course, there are more. So this is the explanation. But also, I hear a lot, why do I need it anyway? I mean, come on, I can look it up online or I ask AI. Yeah, how this goes, I showed you in the last video. In this video, we are not going to talk about everything that can go wrong with AI. I am showing you that all the time. I show you why you need that book at home. So let's take, for example, this root here, and then you look it up online. However, looking up is not knowing, but I understand that interest, right? That need to have a place where you look things up. Good, no problem. Online, most of you go to Pealim, right? Well, this is what you get. How many binyanim are in that root? Here we are. 3, according to Pealim. Bam, bam. Forget about that one. I'm sorry. This is not currently part of modern Hebrew verbs. I'm sorry. So, what's going on here? Those here, the first ones, pa'al and hitpa'el, yes, this is correct. If you want to express to be loved, you don't need another binyan. How do you say that? With the help of pa'ul, which is the past participle of pa'al. Yeah, I know. I also did not learn that in my ulpan. Let me tell you that. But this is what I'm here for, to give you everything. Now, if you are new to Hebrew verbs or you are not sure how to study next, I say this to everybody. You can get my book. I have everything listed. This is not the same as the course. I'm not leading you through. I'm not making you go from here to there and get you into the practice of it. That is the course. But to understand what is a past participle, what is it in Hebrew and how do we use it, my book is for the beginning good enough. Start there and later, if you want, come to my course. Okay, so this is what we are having here. 3 binyanim, 1 you can completely forget, but nobody tells you. Now we are going to have a look into the book or books. Come to that later. We take the first edition and we come to that page here. And you might go, whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, I understand. Let me walk you through. So here on the right side, where you have present, you have 2 columns. Both here are present tense. However, the one on the right side is the present tense as you and I know it, the present tense. I love, ani have it. And then on the left side is the past participle. That is, in this case, loved. Okay, so the passive of to love, le'ehov, is not using nif'al. It is using the past participle, which I always call a leftover from a past action. In my course, I give you 20,000 examples and I make you go through them all. You will never forget it. For the moment, just just accept it the way it is, okay? So this is it, how you say to be loved. Ani ahuva, in my case, okay? So if we go to the next edition, or actually to the last edition, that's the one I have, the third one, you have here also present tense, but here is an improvement. Present slash participle. So here at least they tell you we are talking about the present tense and the past participle. Good, improvement, if you know what you're looking for. But the most important improvement is actually here on the top. Here they tell you this root has two binyanim. Le'ehov, lehit'ahev. That means we make two verbs from this root. Finish. Do you see here? Nif'al. I don't, you don't, we are done. And even in the first book, in that first edition, Nif'al was not in there. They didn't say it so nicely, but it wasn't in there. And so, yeah, this is the summary here. What I said, pa'al, hit pa'el. I just proved to you the only one who was right about it was the printed edition. So it's nice with online, but yeah, you see where it's going. Okay, now let's say you find somewhere a seller and the book is not $100 or even more, and you decide to go for it, but it might not be the edition that you want. Here I will now show you what does it actually mean and where are the differences. You have just seen in this verb in le'ehov, yes, and one it says right on the top. The other one you have to see in each conjugation table, oh, this is pa'al, this is that, but it's in there. So it's not that you're missing really something. We show you clearly here in a table. So we start with orientation. Yeah, the first edition, they actually are used because it's written English, like you open it from left to right. The other one, the last edition, is a little bit a hybrid. So it is written in English, but you use it as if it was a Hebrew book. Okay, we can do that. Not a major thing. So next point is number of verbs. Yes, there were more verbs in the first one. But as you can see now in my annotation here on the right, the last edition only had the ones that you actually need and use. So they slimmed it down to let's say, in a practical term, right? So they do not list anymore everything. And the same is for binyanim. So there are more binyanim in the first one, but what do you want with that if it's something that nobody is using any longer, right? So then we have the order of the binyanim. That is nice as well. The first one had the traditional order, like pa'al, pl, hif'il, and then we go down on the other side of the menorah. Here, in the new one, well, the latest, I should say, in the latest edition, it is by frequency. Nice. It gives you an idea. Examples. I didn't really see such a difference. I still find them very formal and classic. But okay, some people, this is the evaluation from other scholars that discuss the book or review the book. They are saying, oh, the examples have become better. I don't know. For who is it? Of course, the first one is for me. I love it. I love it. Oh my God, there used to be a root that, okay, for you, completely irrelevant. Yeah. So The last edition is definitely the one that is best for you as a student in terms of all these improvements. But the the verbs that we talk about, they are in there in the first one. So it's not that you are missing out on something. Actually, there was a development from the first to the third edition that I can also show you later. But if this is the only one you can get it. It's much better than not having it at home because you will find the verbs that you're looking for in this book. That's for sure. Okay, so next question. Does this now mean in the last edition I have much less verbs and I'm missing out? No, don't worry about FOMO, fear of missing out. No need. Here I also have an overview. Like in the first edition, when they started, they had 501 roots and approximately 1,400 verbs. And it was the most complete thing ever. It was the first one like this on the market. And I think, and I still think it is the best. Okay, so then they made a new edition. And you can see here they actually added roots and that increased the number of verbs, logically, right? But then in the last edition, we had somehow less verbs than before. How did that happen? Well, they took out verbs that were derived from roots, which we still use, but maybe we don't use that binyan any longer. You know what I'm saying? So they modernized it within the book. That's a good thing. But they also added roots. And you go like, what? What does that mean? They added roots. Um, how can you add roots when the roots are actually from all times, right? Actually, no. Most, the vast majority, yes. But how do we come to new roots? Let me show you. The roots that were added in this last edition, they are related to technology and digital life, to Google to send an SMS, all these words, or flying by an airplane and getting an upgrade. I have been upgraded. Things like those entered. And modern slang. Then we have borrowed of foreign words, as I just said, from to Google something. And yes, that's what we call new productive roots in spoken Hebrew. What is a productive root? Well, these are exactly those roots that have never been in classical Hebrew that we had to develop as, language develops. And yes, they produce new verbs. Example, easy. Here, les to send SMS. Okay, that is already outdated because we are now WhatsApping, right? WhatsApp is not yet in the 2018 edition, but this one here is from the 2018 edition, and I can tell you it was not in the first edition. Okay, and just that you know, the original, or let's say the last time they sold it, and I'm still waiting for a new edition, the book was under $20. If you go on Amazon or other places, oh, $150. It's currently apparently the new gold standard of selling this book secondhand. I think without that book, many times I would have fallen for everything I saw on the internet. And yeah, it's not really a good decision. Yeah, just know it might not be true. That's the only thing I'm saying. Keep your antennas up. And it's always good to double check with the 501 Hebrew verbs. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Neshikot.